this topic of Edom-Rome. And many brothers have used this book entitled History of Jewish Civilization to attempt to prove that the Romans are Edomites. But we're going to take you through it and explain what's written here. We're going to give you some insight on who wrote it and why it reads the way it reads, Edom-Rome. We're also going to prove that that doctrine is false, or that claim is false, based on this rabbinical writing and other rabbinical writings, because they didn't even mean that. So we're going to pick up on page 94, and we're going to go through this very slow so you can understand what's going on. In this last paragraph under this article, page 94, it says, in the book Netzarat de Rabbi Simeon Bar Yochai, or The Secrets of Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. He's not the one who wrote this book. This is the title of the book, The Secrets of Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. Now, before we continue, I'm going to give you a short bio on Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. Get his bio from Wikipedia. You can find this information online. We're just going to use Wikipedia right now, but it's all over the internet. Go ahead.
This is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, was a famous rabbi who lived in the era of the Tanaim, in the area of what is today Israel during the Roman period.
So, and he actually lived in the 2nd century AD. Read on.
After the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, he was one of the most eminent disciples of Rabbi Akiva, and is attributed by many with the authorship of the Zohar.
So he's known for writing the Zohar. Go ahead.
The chief work of modern-day Jewish mysticism.
So he's the author of the chief work of modern-day Jewish mysticism. Now, I remember many of your teachers from UPK using this book years ago, and recently they've attempted to use this book, and they said this was a real Jew, Simeon ben Yochai. They said he was a real Jew, real Hebrew Israelite. Doesn't sound like that to me. We're going to go further with it, because he didn't even write the book that they're quoting from. The book it's titled after his name, The Secrets of Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. It was written in Palestine in the 8th century. Simeon ben Yochai lived in the 2nd century. So this book came later. All right, and going down to Works and Legends. Let's find out more about him.
This is Works and Legends. He acquired a reputation as a worker of miracles, and on this ground was sent to Rome as an envoy, where he exorcised from the emperor's daughter a demon who had obligingly entered the lady to enable Rabbi Shimon to effect his miracle. So
this Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai, who some of you claim was a real Jew, he was into mysticism. He went and worked so-called miracles and exorcised demons from people in Rome. And you say this was a real Jew. That's interesting. Read on.
The rabbi bore a large part in the fixation of law, and his decisions are frequently quoted. To him were attributed the important legal homilies called Sifrei and Mekilta, and above all the Zohar, the main work of the Kabbalah.
Okay, so he was the one who was responsible for writing the Zohar. You say this was a real Jew. Now I'm going to continue on from the History of Jewish Civilization. It says, there's a beautiful legend which expresses the feelings of the Jews of that generation. This is the 8th century AD. Now, we know that after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD, the real Israelites were dispersed. For some reason, you have these people in the area in the 8th century AD. So it says, and when he saw that the kingdom of the sons of Ishmael would eventually spread throughout the world, Simeon Bar Yochai wept and said, Lord of the universe, is it not enough for your sons what the evil kingdom of Edom-Rome, as Rome written in brackets, is it not enough for your sons what the evil kingdom of Edom-Rome did to them, that you must also send the kingdom of Ishmael against us? The Holy One, blessed be he, answered, do not fear, son of man, for the Holy One, blessed be he, brings the kingdom of Ishmael only to save you from this evil one. And he sets a prophet of his choice over them, who will conquer the land of Israel for them, and they will come and restore it to the Jews. And there will be a great hatred between them and the children of Esau, Rome, and Rome's in brackets. Now, remember, this is a legend here, because this voice here, where it says, the Holy One, blessed be he, answered, talking about the Most High. Now, in this legend, they're claiming that the Most High was talking to him, telling them these things. You guys are quoting from this legend as an authoritative source. I find that interesting. Now, I'm going to give you some information on this book entitled The Secrets of Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. And this is also from Wikipedia. And I'll be reading the quote from Wikipedia. The Secret of Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai is a Jewish apocalypse of the mid-8th century, which present a Judaic messianic interpretation of the Arab conquest of the early 7th century. Now, this is a Judaic messianic interpretation, meaning they didn't believe in the Messiah who came in the 1st century AD. They thought a Messiah would come in the 8th century AD. So obviously these people are false, and their whole setup is false. These don't sound like real Jews. All right, this is talking about this is a Judaic messianic interpretation of the Arab conquest in the early 7th century. Obviously, the 7th century came and went, and no Judaic Messiah came on the scene. So you can throw that book out the window, along with Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai. All right, but let's get some information on how this came about, how this Edom-Rome thing came about. Why did the rabbinical Jews refer to Edom as Rome? And we're going to go once again to Wikipedia under the section in the article of Edom, the article on Edom. Go ahead.
Identification with Rome.
Now, this is the last paragraph entitled Identification with Rome. Read on.
Later in Jewish history, the Roman Empire came to be identified with Edom.
So later in Jewish history, the Roman Empire came to be identified with Edom. Read.
And specifically, the remnants of Amalek.
That's interesting as well, because the remnants of Amalek were wiped out according to Scripture. Read on.
This can be seen in rabbinic and Pharisaic writings such as the Mishnah or the Talmud.
So if you want to find this information, you have to go to Pharisaic and rabbinical writings, such as the Mishnah and the Talmud. Now, are those books, do they contain the truths of the Most High, or do those contain a bunch of rabbinical garbage? You decide. Read on.
The Spanish rabbinic leaders Rambam and Ezra, the French rabbinic scholars Rashi, and Tashko's Babylonian Jewish scholars like Saadia, Gaon, and other Jewish exilarchs